350R, which has a lot more customization options, it's a little sturdier, and the M50, which is just an engine with just an engine with a cockpit attached.
So the 250R is like a race car, and the M50 is like a super bike, kind of.
Yeah, sort of. I would call one. I would say one of them's kind of like a stock car, and the other is like an F1.
Do you think the Vanduul fighter? There's a lot of talk about it being fast. Do you think that could be modded out to be a racer?
I think so. I mean, one of the things is our races aren't just going to be M50s and 350s. It's going to be all sorts of ships because our upgrade system means that it is what you make it. So if you want to take a Retaliator and cut down everything else and put huge engines on it, you can do that, and it's going to look awesome, and you're going to stand a chance. So maybe, yeah.
That's cool.
Constellation, Freelancer, Aurora LX, Hornet, and 300i, for who was asking me. Question for you. They wanted to know, is the Avenger a limited sell ship, or will they be able to buy the Avenger at will until months on end? Is it limited currently right now where you can purchase it?
No, it's the new pledge ship, so you'll be able to continue pledging for the Avenger, and we'll introduce a lot more information about it as we go on. We in fact just got our renders from it this morning. That's how new it is. We were cutting it down to the wire there.
So the Avenger's not going away after this end of the week.
Avenger's not going away.
So are the other ones going away?
Let's see. The standard limited ships will go away. Probably after we have
The
to
two
give time.
bombers.
We have to let people from Kickstarter who pledged for them before get them now. So we'll have them for a little bit, and they will go away again.
I need to go get some booze.
I don't know what's going on. Well, there's the moonshine in here.
There's
Other than that, booze is elsewhere.
There's a question:
Gil Levitt's
Is
looking
there's
good.
going to be any further skins for sale on the store before release?
Almost certainly, we've got kind of a moratorium on skins at the moment, but we're worried about having we have a technical question we're exploring before we have more skins, but almost certainly there will be more skins as we go along.
On the electro hull skin, is that a mod you apply to your hull, and then you can switch between your skins once you have that, right?
Yes, the idea with the Electroskin hull is that you can put two skins on it. It's a ship module, and it can broadcast one of two skins, which you can switch in flight.
Okay. So you have two slots, though. You can't do all your skins.
You can't do all your skins.
Does it take away from any of the other avionics or flight packages?
Yes, it's going to take a mod slot, or whatever we end up calling it.
I thought it was just called upgrades.
What kind of apps are you going to be able to see that to go along with the game, like the Hanger apps? That's super curious about, iPads, iPhones, Androids.
We are going to do a mobile app. We have not spec'd that out entirely yet. I think the goal is that, right now anyway, we were talking about all sorts of different cool things. I know some fans have had great ideas that we're investigating. At the very least, it'll be a mobile version of your Mobiglass, which is your in-game computer system. So you'll be able to check your cargo and your ship loadouts. I don't want to promise too much specifically what, but it'll be game useful. So it's sort of like carrying a little bit of the game with you that will impact play.
VPOP soon. Just hang around.
So if the Electroskin takes a mod slot, I'm assuming it has LTI.
I'm going to avoid answering any questions about LTI for the rest of my life, so it's not a problem. LTI, what's that?
I don't know all these acronyms.
Someone was wanting to know, this is kind of more of a clarification because I answered before, but it'd be good to have it clarified anyway. If you have LTI or any type of insurance, or let's just say it's LTI. If you have LTI on a pledge ship, like let's say they bought the 350R, and it comes with equipment by default. If that gets destroyed, does the insurance cover the default equipment with it?
Yes. 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 I'll be on the record as yes for that one.
Are there any other mods you guys expect that aren't a package to be selling before the end of the pledge drive?
We're talking about it probably. Once we get the hanger out, we can be able to sell like individual lasers or missiles, engine modifications, etc. The problem is balancing it all in the economy, which is why we aren't doing it right now. I mean, I'd love to be able to say, hey, we got a new engine for sale, which is one thing our new website lets us do in theory. We can make up whatever we want. But in the future, I think we'll have hard assets and we'll have it balanced in the game properly before we sell you stuff. But we will sell you more stuff.
Lewis wants to know how many kittens we get. Apparently you promised kittens.
Right now, you're getting 7 kittens each.
Eight's too many.
Are these
Seven,
space
so-
kittens or
Exclusive racer kittens.
Yes.
racer kittens?
The
they have,
racer
like,
model,
different
there's
Can I get
more.
tracer cats?
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
those
pretty sure
cats.
those are the actual repair technicians that go out and repair your ship.
That would be ultra cute.
It's like a Robotnik robot. The repair droid is powered by kittens.
Listen,
7 of
it
them.
hasn't been clear in the trailers or the teasers or Chris's interviews yet, but Star Citizen is going to be an adorable game.
Actually marketed towards small young Asian girls.
Mhm.
Yeah,
What isn't these days?
Like Nintendogs
Wah, wah.
times 100.
It's been 10 ponies. 10 ponies.
Well, there's a lot of people actually curious if you can give any Retaliator info yet. Or at least what role it would play, per se. Or what roles it could play, I should say. Not role, but-
Okay, well, it says
We know what it is, but what else it could do.
where the Retaliator came from was it's a B-17, so the UE uses a strategic bomber, which is my fantasy in these games. I've always wanted these missions where you escort a bomber, where you're part of the bomber crew, where you're the gunner, and you have these big lumbering formations. They're going to go nuke a big square of a planet or something. I wanted to see that in Squadron 42, so that's where it came from. The civilian version came from the fact that at the end of World War II, the Army Air Force had just thousands upon thousands of B-17s to get rid of, and they would just sell them off for crop dusting or firefighting or rescue, and people would they'd sell them without the guns, and people would take a blowtorch to them and do whatever they wanted for theirs. There'd be little local passenger airlines that would take a B-17 from one city in Oklahoma to another. So that's what I'm going for with the Retaliator. We want people to figure out what to do with this former strategic bomber. Knowing this community, you're going to find some cool stuff. And the fact that we let you go back and buy more guns and missiles and so on, just
Turn it into
Yeah.
a
I've got one for you. You know, like in the original Wing Commander, you had like the broadsword bomber, that sort of thing. Now, bombers in Star Citizen, are we going to see any sort of cloaking mechanism? Or-
That's actually one of the questions on here.
Yeah.
we're staying away from cloaking right now.
Okay.
Not saying we're avoiding in the future. My experience with cloaking is that it's not as much fun as it should be in a game.
Yeah.
Wing Commander just ended up frustrated when you had to fight the Straka.
Yeah.
Well, so we're going to have the previous release information was some sort of radar cloaking, like energy
okay.
signature stuff, right?
Yeah,
But
I
still,
should clarify this.
It's visual, yeah.
Yeah, we're not having a visual cloak where the ship disappears and you can't find it anymore. We're having more of kind of a Cold War mechanic where you're trying to make your ship have as low a signature as possible, and other people are trying to improve their sensors as much as possible, and so it's a sensor cloak, and we have different kinds of outputs. So there's a radar signature and a heat signature, and we have all sorts of interesting ideas there. So it's not a pure like Star Trek. You press your button and you disappear, but every piece of upgrade you add to your ship, you should be thinking: is this going to make it more stealthy? Is it going to make it less stealthy? So that's a part of the game.
Awesome.
Do you know any more details about the stretch goal that unlocked or will unlock command and control on larger ships?
I know Rob is very excited about command and control, so we
I think we can say
like
too
that
much.
money.
Probably not.
It's something that frankly we need in the game for these larger ships, and
So I have a quick question on that. So in the stretch goal, it says Idris and Destroyer get C and C. But when you guys were discussing it and announcing it, you guys mentioned the constellation.
I hope so.
yeah, I think if not standard, it would be something you would add to your constellation for your guild. I suppose CNC wouldn't come standard in your average Millennium Falcon style constellation that's going off.
We took a mod slot or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I can answer this one. Somebody's asking if you're able to create your own ships, or if it's something in-game that squadrons have to do. If someone's going to make your own ship, you can actually do that and submit it to CIG. And if they approve it, they'll put it into the game, and you may get some sort of benefit or like revenue, some of the sales. But there's no real crafting in game for ships. It's literally designing a 3D model of ship. And if it passes their A-OK, they'll add it.
Yep, and we're going to tell you exactly how to do that. I should stress it's going to be very, very difficult to get a ship approved by us. It's very difficult for our artists to get ships approved by us. Which is why you
So
don't
what
see
you're
a lot
saying is I can't just submit a sphere and fly around a Death Star in Star Citizen.
The
Well,
point is, don't suck.
So how many Death Stars will there be in Star Citizen?
7 Death Stars. No,
I think I see a pattern here.
But to keep it cute, they fire rainbow lasers.
Well, and
Well,
there
another
has to
thing
be
we-
a
Ponies.
small.
It's all like vacuum
One-shots
hardened
it.
ponies they fire at you.
one thing we're also going to have is private servers. You can set up your own Star Citizen universe, and you can put all your own ships in it and play with your friends or whoever you invite. It's a mechanic that recent games haven't really had so much, but Chris Roberts Freelancer, which was kind of the germ of Star Citizen, did very well. Anybody could start their own Freelancer world, and people could mod it however they want, and people have done incredible things with Freelancer over the years. And we're hoping that you can do that right out of the box with Star Citizen. We're going to show you how to change it. And,
So you're
encourage
talking
that sort of
like
thing.
with all those talented people out there who are a lot more talented than me.
Mhm.
You know, they can design their own ships in like 3D Studio Max or whatever and import them into the game on their own private server and just
Yep.
kind of, that's pretty awesome.
Yep, building it so you can do that right out of the box.
I'm really looking forward to, the obvious ones, the Star Wars mod, the Star Trek
Yeah,
mod.
yeah.
I'm hoping for a Firefly mod.
Oh,
That's probably
that
gonna
I
be the
absolutely
first one.
have. Yeah.
Could someone please make a Mass Effect mod, please?
Yes.
So there's a lot of people in chat that are really confused about what CNC is. Can you re-describe what the earlier announcement was about CNC, what you'll be able to do?
This is the command and control system for larger ships. So let's say I run a guild, and I have one big ship. I have a destroyer or an Idris, and I have like 7 wingmen who are in my guild together. And I need some way to go out into battle and tell them what to do, where to go. It's kind of adding a little bit of real-time strategy game into Star Citizen. So I get like a computer panel where I see the other ships and what they're doing. I can give them orders, and if they're AI, they'll listen to me, and if they're my friends, they may not. But
So are you the pilot in command in this case? Are you the PIC? Or are you not at controls of the...
you would have to step away from the controls of your ship. Yeah, it would be larger ships, so someone else would actually be manning the captain's seat.
So you're like the flight deck officer kind of stuff?
Absolutely.
Any news on Star Citizen hardware, such as like joysticks, keyboards, headsets?
We'd like to do it, but we'd like to do it right. So it's out there. Maybe we're talking to people.
Should we wait to buy?
It depends.
What you're saying is yes.
Yes. No. We don't have anything solid yet. We're talking to a couple different people, and we'll see where it goes.
Can we assume that if, your computer can handle Crisis 3, that your computer should be able to handle?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. We're thinking like peripherals, like a Star Citizen branded stick and rudder setup or something.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
For tech specs, if you can play Crisis 3, you can play Star Citizen.
Couple of questions popping up related to the same thing. Stick around for the whole stream. People are asking about, like why can Shadow Legante get like an outfit and all that stuff. There are things that we are doing in our full outfits just from time to time. So you just kind of watch the whole stream. You might see something because we still have our issues to work out per se, and that's not over yet. So just keep tuning in, keep watching. You get to see some cool videos on reveals, and you might be able to see me and Ken Shadow have a nice little discussion from time to time. So
I think it was 106, 109 degrees in Texas today. So the reason that Legante is not wearing his
it is hot.
rubber gas mask outfit all day is
Those-
because he would die. Very
Those short
quickly.
clips you guys have seen so far were fairly murder on both of us.
I peeled this thing off of him, and it felt like, I felt like somebody drenched this thing in a goddamn pool before he took it off.
Here's an interesting one. We know that we can board ships and take people out and so on, and leave their ship intact. Somebody's asking if you're able to take out a pilot through ship damage, such as shooting through a canopy or hitting a ship in a way where it breaks through the hull and practically ejects the pilot out of the ship. I mean, can you actually take out a pilot without boarding and killing
We're talking about that.
You're wearing a spacesuit.
One of those things we want to do. We're probably going to put in the game and then balance in the dogfighting because it's one of those things that could take over if it turns out to be really easy to do.
So yeah.
Well, there's
Yeah.
you guys mentioned the Joker grappler or whatever that electrocutes people in the ship, right?
Yep.
Is that along the same lines as what we're talking about here at disabling the crew?
I think we're thinking more of like kind of the lucky shot that goes through the cockpit and hits the pilot in the head.
The Battlefield 3 shoot the pilot out of the
Yeah.
helicopter kind of stuff.
It's one of those things that it's really cool, realistic in a game, but you'll also find that a bunch of players will learn exactly how to do that, and then you'll just have these guys who go around shooting everybody in the head from further away than you can see them. So we want to do it, but can't promise
So
it for sure.
you guys mentioned some weapons that are more precise and are used take a greater degree of skill in order to use and are potentially more effective in the right hands. So is that mostly talking about targeted things like target their engines or something like that and do more damage to that, or is that what the primary point of that is?
Obviously, I mean, think of it's not a good example of Wing Commander because Wing Commander never had subsystems really. So,
It's like
but
Descent Free Space or something like that.
Yeah, free space.
but imagine in Wing Commander the difference between a mass driver cannon and the Stormfire cannon. It's the same essential technology, but one of them is just this big bolt that'll hit the ship, and the other one, if there were subsystems, you could pick them off if you were a good shot.
Yeah.
And if you're a bad shot, both of them are fine solutions for.
So if you're really into ships, you know the different pieces, and you're a really good shot, then the tighter shot is a much better buy for you.
Yep. We've got different types of shells, and we've got both laser weapons and ballistic weapons, and they're all going to feel differently. And my experience is that you typically take to one particular weapon over the other, and it's not a set weapon. It's whatever your best at.
We saw some of the combat kind of stuff when the initial pitch was made on the Kickstarter. That initial video, the projectiles were very slow, including photons, light, whatever, lasers. I get that, and I understand that that's going to be sped up a little bit.
Absolutely, they were very slow in that demo, and that's one thing we're working on.
Are the basically ship speeds somewhat what we can expect, or is it going to be faster, slower than that? Like, what's the deal?
I think the goal is a little bit faster than that. It's a big balance thing too. You want it to feel like a World War II dogfight. Anything more
You
than
don't like
that?
battleship micro warp drive on a cruiser kind of style stuff.
So I think it'll be a little bit faster than it was in the demo, but we'll.
So currently 10:30 is Dr. Hard time.
Okay, is it 10:30 now?
One last question, and then
Oh,
we'll wrap this up.
we've got 6 minutes.
It's not even that important. I don't understand.
You need a theme song.
Okay,
All right.
yeah, I guess.
Any updates or news on how ship communication will work with other players?
So there's two types of communication.
$300
There's one that's our cheat, where you have an instant messenger system with your friends and you can talk to them anywhere, which is kind of a necessary evil because we know you're just going to jump out to IRC or something if you don't have that. So you have a friends list, you can talk to the buddies in your guild at any time. Other communication is based strictly on physics. If I want to contact somebody in this, they have to be nearby me, they can't be on the other side of the galaxy.
What is that?
That's a little roller thing.
Some more questions here. We got a few, about maybe 3 more minutes for questions.
We'll pick this up later. We've got a lot of time. So.
Yeah.
It's almost like we got all night.
Yeah, until I fall asleep.
At least until Chris comes back.
Yeah.
Actually, I've never seen this. We know we can reserve our name just by signing up website. When is there going to be a method for reserving squadron names?
Coming soon. One of the things we're doing in phase 2 of the RSI site, which we're actually meeting with the guys at Turbulent next week, after the 4th, is the guild squadron functionality for the site, which is going to tie right into the game. So basically, we're figuring that out in about 10 days. So stay tuned.
Questions?
I see you guys drank all the moonshine.
No, it's all up here.
Not yet.
Pretty sure we will be dead.
Let's start doing shots if you want.
fisting it.
Out. They're out. Get them out.
Doctor, we need you.
We know there's going to be like repair droids and stuff like that and such. What other kind of droids would we expect to see on board ships?
Well, pleasure droids, of course.
Oh, we don't talk about those.
yeah.
Redacted.
That's only on the
Redacted,
luxury.
that's
Redacted.
right, yeah.
Fisto 3000.
Ben, sir, you have my curiosity.
I-
Now you have my
I
attention.
regret going down this path.
Yeah, the next question they're going to ask is how many. You're going to say 7.
7, yes.
Cardboard Brain wants to know when the subscriber store is coming online.
Hi, Cardboard Brain. Next question.
Waiting for more.
We're working on the subscriber store. The folks in LA are the ones to ask, and it's in the works.
They're busy
So-
eating.
They're busy eating.
Here's another question. Will we see any heavy fighters as opposed to heavy bombers?
Yeah, this is what I've been asking.
Yeah, we're gonna see some heavy fighters. Can't say when.
Rotary auto
The Avenger is approaching a heavy fighter. It's kind of an aging heavy fighter.
Kate, I'm not wearing my MechWarrior shirt. Be right back.
What's to prevent players from just willy-nilly, for no reason at all, outside of trolling, just randomly putting bounties on people? What's the requirements for putting bounties on people?
We are working on a bounty system that requires some interaction. You can't just go and say, I hate Chris Roberts. I'm gonna put $1 million bounty on him. Okay, well, I should stress, you can do that. It's not a bonded bounty. If I go, I can post on a bulletin board and say, I'm going to pay $10 million to whoever kills Chris Roberts. But people are going to see that that's your promise. It's not confirmed by the government or guaranteed. So it's up to the reputation of that person.
Will there be different boards for bounties versus assassinations?
Maybe. We haven't figured out much about assassinations yet, but they're out there.
If anybody can confirm, it looks like we might have hit 11.2.
Awesome! 11. Yeah.
Let's find out real quick. Just confirm real quick.
It's 11. It was like a couple $100 away from 11.2.
We are at 11.2!
Awesome! That is incredible. Time for the next system, which someone who isn't me should be posting. If you're watching this, please post the next system unlocked.
I missed that. I want it. It's so
This
bad.
has been asked before.
No, now
but,
it's
just
Istanbul.
to reiterate, will there be voice communication between ships?
Yes, but we haven't figured out exactly how it's going to work yet. So,
Same.
tabling that for now.
All right. Well, we got about a minute until you're on, so I guess we just wrap everything up
We
now.
can probably go ahead and talk to Dr. Hopkins.
Alrighty. Thank you, Twitch tab.
For those asking
would I-
for the Idris, that's at
Would I be
11,
able to
guys.
borrow
We will do more
Or should I
question and
just drag
answer
them?
later.
What's
So
Should I just
you
borrow
didn't get
mine?
your questions in.
Oh, if you
we'll do
like,
later.
I'll just drag in mine.
Oh,
I'll be right back.
alright.
Okay, we're not talking to Dr. Hopkins.
I'm not pulling Twitch back up.
back. I'm just gonna get my laptop.
No.
Yeah, no
All right, let's all talk about how much we hate Dr. Hawk.
Dr.
Ah,
Hawk.
Dr.
I
Hawk.
never even watched a show
see
except for the time I
flying
talked to
high.
Chris.
That son of a bitch, he's always putting down my videos. I mean, really.
For those of you who don't know, which is maybe many of you, Dr. Hawk does one of the many excellent fan podcasts about Star Citizen, and he's come all the way from Canada to talk to us here in person today.
Canada, eh?
So, yeah, Canada.
Yeah.
Hey.
Eh? What's that about?
Sorry.
About time.
And he's going to be here to talk to us about, I guess, just the business of being Dr. Hawk in just a moment.
Are there any Canadians in the chat?
If so, we're sorry.
None. Zero.
Here he comes.
There he
There we
is.
go.
There he is.
Got my ugly computer.
Oh, an Asus.
I see 2 other Canadians in the chat. Oh, no, 3?
There we go. Okay, should somebody plug that in?
There's
There's quite a few
over
Canadians
there.
in chat.
It's almost like Canada's really close and speaks the same
Yeah, I
language as
know.
us.
Like, what is
Really?
this?
It's
Sometimes.
kind of the same language.
Actually, we work with a lot of those French Canadians.
Exxon, you're not Canadian.
Behavior,
Don't
so
lie.
go
Bring a
Canada. Canada is a strong partner in creating Star Citizen.
Okay, so how can I help you guys?
That's a good question. What? I actually introduced you while you were away. Told them about your podcast. Welcome to the United States. Welcome to Squadron Games. You've been up for
48 hours now. I did
so
a whole work shift before I came. Then I flew. Couldn't sleep on the plane. got here, having fun, want to sleep, but don't want to sleep.
I feel you because I did the same thing
you know that.
for the first live stream. I know your pain right now. So, tell us about yourself. How did you get involved with Star Citizen?
I pretty much didn't know anything about Star Citizen until I saw it on Destructoid. I don't know if anyone checks out that site every now and then. I love going on Destructoid, followed it. One of the editors had written something about, the next-gen space game. And for me, I played EVE Online for about 3 years. I played other games. Black Prophecy was another one that came out. There's a few other space sims here and there, but nothing that ever really stuck. Got boring quick. And then I see Chris Roberts in Star Citizen, and then at that point it was just, take money, throw out screen, pretty much. It didn't work, but I keep trying it every few days to see if something happens.
You can keep throwing it my
You've
way.
been trying to give out money.
It's my money. I'll just keep throwing it at my school.
Okay.
My money. Come back to me, money.
If you say so.
It wants to go to you. It knows your intentions.
So why a radio show? How did that get started?
I did play Black Prophecy. That was a game I played.
This is absolutely
back before that exploded.
Is that?
For me, I am not the most affluent of people. I work in a warehouse. I just graduated from college, and I really wanted to do something to give back to the community. And I love making videos. I used to make machinimas when I was younger, like Halo, Red versus Blue, that kind of crap. And I just thought, okay, well, why don't I make a podcast? So at first it was me just recapping Wingman's Hangar. And for a while, as I learned how to edit and got my feet on my belt, it wasn't that bad. But recently I've taken to trying to cover the community or doing something a little more creative than just today in Wingman's Hangar. Because if people want to listen to Wingman's Hangar, they can listen to him, not me.
Those are the new shits.
And then the interviews with Chris Roberts helped, and that made me shit the bed. I don't sound like it sometimes, and I'm like, geez, you sound boring as fuck. Or like,
I must say, you have a voice for radio, and I'm kind of surprised because you look a lot cooler than I expected. You look like a normal person.
I also like to live dangerous.
I kind of expected like a gray flannel shirt, looking like a 1940s haircut, and like a hat with a feather in it. I don't know what I was imagining.
Well, I could maybe do like a feather, white feather. He was a sniper, but that would insinuate other things other than radio personality. Don't get near Hawk; he'll friggin' take you out 1,200 miles.
I think somebody lost.
Sounds like the poker game is not going well. Yeah. Maybe we can close this door.
I think somebody's letting loose some fucking swear.
Redacted.
Alright, there we go.
I broke the chair.
That's fine.
Hey,
That was
that's
working
going to
already.
cost me $100.
That's a $4 chair.
That's a $100 chair. I better get in Star Citizen.
Yeah, someone better
That'll be the best chair I ever own. People will come on my ship and they'll be like, "Hey, that's a piece of shit. Where'd you get that?" I broke it.
So what's next for Dr. Hogg?
Next for Dr. Hawk, well, pretty much for me, it's just wake up, and if it's Sunday, or at least Saturday or Sunday, it's make Star Citizen.
I know that feeling.
It keeps me going. Right now, I'm actually saving up for a new computer build, so some of the chat roll, they've wanted to know why my Let's Plays have disappeared. Like, I started doing Kerbal Space Program and Guns of Icarus, but as some people have noticed, as much as I love this laptop, running at 5 frames per second is not a fun, enjoyable experience for any audience. So. There's going to be a new desktop build. I'm going to throw a Titan in it, i7, 3.5 gigahertz. I'm going to just freaking throw everything I can in this thing so I don't have to touch it for the next few years.
That's great.
And then once Star Citizen comes around, I can play it and have fun. And you guys can all shoot me. Not painfully, hopefully.
Yeah, you kind of put a target on your back being the radio personality, even the incredibly likable one.
This will be interesting. It could be just like, "Hey, Larry, how you doing? Oh, Hawk, we love you, man. Stay still."
We want you on our kill list. And kill list's not confirmed.
just watch. It was Zane be like, "Oh, feather hugs with my missiles."
Yeah, I've always had the feeling that Zane's gonna turn at some point.
Oh, Zane is totally gonna rape me. He's just
Gonna go
he's just gonna be,
crazy.
I love you,
Snap.
Hawk. When
This
you're
is Zane.
dead.
Let me clarify for everyone who is not a member of the chat room. This is Zane with an X, not related to Zane with a Z.
Oh no, Zane with a Z. He'll just freaking all you devs will have powerful ships. He'll just be like,